Good afternoon, colleagues. And before I begin, may I remind members, as always, to observe social distancing rules when entering and leaving the chamber, as well as obviously throughout the Holyrood building. The first item of business today is time for reflection, and our time for reflection leader is the Reverend Keith Mack, the Minister at St John's and Kings Park Church in Dalkeith, who is joining us remotely via video link. Reverend Mack.
Thank you. It's nice to be back again. This weekend, the church celebrated Pentecost, when the Holy Spirit came and empowered the followers of Jesus to go and preach the good news. This is when the church began, nearly 2,000 years ago. The church has gone through much in that time, highs and lows, but the church, as I have seen it and experienced it, is very much alive today. Jesus promised that he would leave a comforter for his followers, the Holy Spirit, a comforter for the afflicted, who afflicts the comfortable also, the Spirit who challenges and consoles and calls the church and us all to action. I read a book called The Boys in the Boat, which is a tale about a team from America who beat all the favoured rowing teams at the 1936 Olympics. James Daniel Brown, the author, writes, "Think of a well-rowed race as a symphony, and each rower as one player in the orchestra. If one fellow is in an orchestra and he was playing out a tune or playing at a different tempo, the whole piece would be ruined. That's the way it was with rowing. What mattered more than how hard a man rowed was how everything he did in the boat harmonized with the other fellows and what they were doing. And a man couldn't harmonize with his crewmates unless he opened his heart to them. He had to care about his crew. It wasn't just the rowing, but his crewmates that he had to give himself up to, even if it meant getting his feelings hurt." What is interesting is that each rower had not only to match his technical skill or strength with the other rowers, he had to trust and care for the others on his team. And the gateway for this was humility. And in many ways, it is the same in the life of the church and for our society. For the Spirit to unite us, we have to lay down our stuff. We have to trust each other and care for each other, especially at a time such as this. The church is alive today. In Dalkeith, where I am from, and across Scotland, we are seeing, with the help of others, the church feed and care for those in need, connect the isolated, and help make people's day. It's only through the power of the Spirit that this happens. The church cannot survive without the comforter of the afflicted. But we need, as church and as society, to be ready to be jarred out of our comfort, to hear his voice and work with compassion for those who are afflicted today, wherever and whoever they may be. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Mack, and thank you for agreeing to come back for a second time.